Good morning, amigos. Today is going to be a big day for us on the Bisbone Ranch. We are about to break ground on our house pad. Monday, we have a big delivery coming in of 3 pallets with sackcrete and then a bunch of form boards. So today's Thursday and that delivery's coming in on Monday. So we're gonna see how far we can get before then. We're hoping we'll be ready for concrete to pour on Monday. So today is gonna be a lot of digging. Mark has already started the process and he's over it, you would say?
Yeah. He just has to go like a foot down and a foot across. So I'm nowhere near that right now. I'm like just barely breaking it, so we'll see where to dig.
Pray for us, y'all. We're gonna be out here for the next few days just digging.
You need a backhoe.
Yeah, backhoe. If any of y'all out there wanna come out here and help us backhoe, that would be great. Probably like 3 hours in, and we're probably 2/3 the way around the circle, but we still have to go around it a couple more times and get it, we're going 1 foot deep, right?
It's going to be, no, it's 1 foot wide. It's only 6 inches deep total.
6 inches deep, sorry.
This is just the footer that our stem wall is going to rest on, so this will get compacted under the ground.
We've made some progress though in just a few hours. We've taken multiple breaks.
There's just so much rock.
I know. Look at all this rock. It's just everywhere.
And we'll pour concrete on it. Tie it to the stem wall with rebar. And that is what our house is going to be built on.
Woo! I'm so excited.
Yeah, you can kind of see the shape of what it is. It's obviously a circle. Give you a couple of hints of what this building is going to be, but that's as far as we're going to go for now.
Yeah, throw some guess in the comments.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll give you some kind of lucky prize if you can guess what it is. I don't know what the prize will be, but
we don't have anything to give.
Maybe a little miniature picture of what it is. I don't know. Anyways, we're probably going to work on this for another 45 minutes if we can. Our hands, our shoulders, our backs, we're pretty tired. Even though we took a few days off, right?
Not really. I mean, we've been doing stuff nonstop.
Yeah. But not like...
I mean, heavy digging, yeah. We haven't done any real digging.
Yeah, because we did the carport, and that was like maybe 4 or 5 days ago. It was like last week, basically.
Well,
we took the weekend off.
The concrete work is done for the carport for now, but we haven't finished building because our window of when we can pour concrete is getting smaller. It's getting colder, so we have to knock this out soon before we can go on to completing the carport.
They're predicting that the temperatures aren't going to drop until not like January, but no one knows.
Nobody knows.
We're not taking those chances because we need to have it ready by January. So we're going to do what we can and then start again tomorrow.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot to celebrate. Be thankful for.
We haven't had a margarita in a long, long time, so it feels good. And it's a celebration of making progress and breaking ground on our house. I am so excited!
Finally, yeah.
I know it took us halfway through working today that we're breaking ground. We didn't even make it a big deal when we did the first shovel.
It was just a task that we needed to do, and then it kind of got a little more exciting once we're like, oh, wait a second, this is a house.
Yeah. So we're gonna enjoy our margaritas and watch the sunset and get back to it tomorrow morning. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Looks like an Egyptian obelisk or something. It's
cool.
Naturally forming, obviously.
That'll be a good one for mortaring something with.
I use this as a base of like a window.
Yeah.
Into the pile it goes for now.
We are on our, what is this, our third day?
This is day 3.
Yeah, the house pad. Last couple of days we kind of took a break in between because we were really tired of digging. We were very sore.
It's not just digging, it's rock removal. I mean, you can show down in here, like it's...
Yeah, we've been removing a lot of rock and digging, picking rock.
It's 12 inches by 18 inches what this trench is. So we're gonna pour a footer that's gonna be about 12 inches wide and 5 inches tall. So the footer will be smaller than this trench we've dug, but we had to remove a ton of rock, literally tons. This pile right here was just the very first section, and we've been dumping it over there. Some of that's from leveling the actual house pad area. Just an absurd amount of rock, which isn't bad. I think that this is going to be an erosion-proof area because of all the rock.
Yeah, and we'll use some of that as backfill.
Well, not just backfill, but like, this is a good building material. I mean, we could use this to build like a stone section of the house if we want. We could like mortar it together into something. We can use it as an accent or a splash guard at the base. Like all kinds of stuff you can do with rock like this. So
yeah,
it's not all bad. It's just
useful material because rock is not cheap.
It's way more work getting it out, but that's true. We'll probably use this for erosion control for like single row rock dams and things like that. So
yeah, so
that's
we've
exciting.
Got the trench around the house pad pretty much dug out. We're gonna have to do a little digging deeper on certain areas today, and then hopefully we'll be ready for forms.
There's 4 feet over there that's still too shallow.
Yeah.
We left that so we could get the wagon in and out of the circle for now. So I'm gonna dig that in a couple of minutes after we get this all cleared out.
Yeah, we got our rebar last night in town, and we still have to buy some of our form boards that aren't coming in our big delivery for Monday.
Right, because our form boards for the actual stem wall of the house are 2x10 lumber, so they're going to be like straight sided, and we need curvable form boards. So I'm going to get like kind of like what do they call that stuff? MDF, like the real thin, like 1/8 inch MDF, or like I think they call it hardboard. So it's not like, you don't normally leave it exposed. It's for like the backs of cabinets and stuff like that. But we're gonna cut it into strips and use it just temporarily to form the edges of our actual footer, because just to save concrete. Because if we just fill this trench in, it would take double the amount of concrete, and it's not gonna add any strength. It'll be better if it's actually the correct shape. And then we'll backfill on top of that.
Yep. So today's goal is to get most of this rock and dirt out of the circle and out of the rim of the circle.
And finish digging that.
Yeah, and finish digging the very last part on one of the sides. And I think that's all we're gonna do today, because we got our homestead swap party tomorrow. We're gonna see how far we get today, and hopefully we don't break our backs doing it.
ish.
All right. So far, so good.
Here we're going to take some of these rocks out because it says it's 17 inches, but we've got 2 inches of rock right there.
That's fine.
That's not a big deal. I think we need to taper the rock. We thought that before, that the rocks need to stop right around these yuccas. All right. Let's see. Perfect. 19. I think this might get a little shallow. Let's just see. 20.
Woo!
Okay. 19.
Okay, good.
All right. This is 20. So we're all within an inch, so that everything else is just level it out with gravel before we pour. Yeah, 19. So everything's between like 19 and 20, what it looks like. I think we're good to start leveling out with gravel, compact it, and then build our forms and pour. Yeah.
And the wind finally stopped after blowing all stinking day.
Yeah, it kept me cool at least. It's nice out.
No, it was a beautiful day. Just after all day digging and jackhammering, we are pooped.
Yeah, I am setting up like concrete, which we were about to pour.
I am already concrete.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad that we can start on these forms.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah,
finally. Hopefully everything goes smooth.
Friday we were supposed to start the forms and pour concrete the day after Thanksgiving, and this set us back a couple of days. So
yeah, it was just not as level as we thought. When I did it with a string and bubble setup, and it looked real close to level. But then once I busted out the laser to just finally check the depth of the holes, not even the depth of the pad, but the depth of the holes, it was off by several inches on one side. So jackhammer away, and it looks like it's good now.
yeah, now we're all set, and we can start on forms tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Yeah, finally. Just gonna rest tonight.
Yeah, so we'll get back to it tomorrow. But for now, we're just gonna enjoy this sunset.
Oh, it's beautiful. Wow.
It's another windy day on Bisbone Ranch. We're gonna try to get our forms done today, or at least started and halfway done. But before we can do that, we've got to get everything as level as possible out here, because our foundation of our house depends on it, right?
Yeah, everything depends on the foundation. I mean,
Yes.
that's the rule for building anything. If you had a non-level foundation, then you're gonna have a non-level house and a non-level floor, and that is not what we want. We want this perfect.
So what we're doing right now is
We put these stakes in, and they're exactly in a 36-foot circle. This is like, so we did an 18-foot radius
yes.
to find out exactly where to put these. They're evenly spaced somewhat. Then we shot a laser. This is really an arbitrary line right here, but they're exactly level on all of them, so that's important. Then we measured down to what would be an appropriate ground level for where the actual footer is going to be. It happened to be 17 inches on to get it closest for all of them, so it was within like an inch on every single one of these. So we measured down 17 inches on all of them, and you can see it. It's like, this is actually after I put our kind of AB. We have a whole bunch of like AB soil, gravel stuff around the property, so I tamped that down, so we have an extra inch. That last inch is going to be like this pea gravel stuff. We're doing that just because we know the concrete bonds to it, that it creates like a capillary gap. Just has worked really well on other projects that we've done, so we're gonna put a little bit of this pea gravel in now, up to that line. That'll be where the footer sits. morning, guys. It is an exciting day. Today is concrete day. We're going to attempt to pour the footers for our house today, which is a lot of concrete. So, I mean, I'm very inexperienced with this. I don't exactly know what I'm doing, but I did a lot of research. Hopefully this will work. We've got 3 pallets of like dry concrete mix. They were delivered to kind of the main area of our property, but we have to shuttle them to the actual build site. So I'm using the good old Kubota tractor here to shuttle concrete to the actual build site. So let's go get going on that. A little bit easier that the bucket reaches across the form into the center of this area where we're going to be pouring concrete, so I don't have to move them as far. So far I've moved 1 full pallet plus another half a pallet, so I think we're going to need 2 pallets for this first section, which is like, I think that's 84 bags of concrete. I'm already sore.
Alright, the time has finally arrived. We are about to pour concrete. Mark has been working really hard this morning while I was at the vet with our dog, and he's been prepping everything up until this point. We're going to try to get the footers in today and done, and then we're going to start prepping forms tomorrow, hopefully, for our stem walls.
Yeah.
And then we are about to put this house up, y'all.
Well, I did have some concern with the type of forms we use, because it's a circular building. I had to use something thin enough that could bend. So we used bender board, which is like what you'd use for a curved sidewalk edge. And it's just real flexible. So we used lots and lots of stakes. And then I used rocks. You can see along here that the entire inner edge is lined with rock.
We can do that
because it's going to be pushing inward on this circle, so that will could collapse the shape of it. The outer one I'm less worried about because it's going to push out, so I think that'll maintain a rigid circle shape.
When we woke up this morning, it was a little wonky. I think we hit dew point last night. Yeah.
Bender board is not waterproof.
No.
This is a one-time form. We're not going to reuse this one, and it's all going to be buried anyway. This is all underground stuff. It's just a footer, so even if it comes out a little wonky, as long as it is perfectly round, it'll still work for our footer. It's just got to be level and round. If it gets a little wavy in some spots, I'm not worried about it.
Neither am I.
Yeah.
So let's get cracking. 10, how tired are you?
15.
15.
Oh wait, is 1 the most tired?
11 is the highest.
That's the most tired though?
Yeah.
I'm about like an 8, 7. I can't be all the way tired. We got more work to do.
I know. We can do this. We got this. I believe in us.
You got it.
I hope you believe. Take the forms off and see how it looks. Are you ready?
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see it.
I'm so excited, and then we get to do our stem wall.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it and see what we got. So far, so good. There's a few rough spots, but not too shabby. This is where we first started and where we ended. And so far, this is the only rough patch we have. The last bag of the night was filled with aggregate, too much aggregate, really.
Well, not just that, but it was already drying and setting up before we could tap it and get the bubbles out.
We've noticed a pattern. This is our second time pouring concrete with the mud mixer, that in the very beginning it takes a minute for us to get it like a smooth consistency. It comes out dry and rough in the beginning, so it's just something to keep in mind next time we pour for the stem wall. But at least that's on the high side over there. And so far over here on the low side where rain would actually come down the mountain, it's looking pretty smooth and nice. I think we're gonna get some Portland cement in town today so we can patch up the rough spots if we have any more.
This is all gonna be completely underground anyway, but I want it to be waterproof just to make sure nothing gets into our foundation and underneath our slab, more importantly.
We weren't going for looks on this one because it's going to be buried and everything, so we didn't really screed it at all at the end of the night. No. I screeded as we were going through.
Right, just to keep it generally level, because we're going to put another set of form boards on top of this. But the idea is we use the bender board just to control the amount of concrete. We were fairly accurate. I think we went 20 over what our estimate was for bags, but if we didn't do this, we would have been pouring directly in the ground, and it would have been impossible to make sure it's perfectly level. With this, we leveled the boards, we got them curved the way we wanted, poured to the top of the boards, and it came out real close to level, if not perfect. So yeah, that's really just the idea. This is going to carry the weight. We're going to build our stem walls on top of this. It'll keep it from sinking into the ground.
And there was a few rough spots in some areas where we had the bracing on the top. So we're just going to sand those spots down. It's not a big deal.
Slightly lower right here where that brace was. Not a big deal. That'll get filled back in with
Yep, not too bad, not too bad.
Stickers off of new electronic, but this is what this kind of reminds me of. Very gratifying.
All right, we got our last little section. Oh, that was easy.
No, there's still a tiny little piece right here.
This is a little buried, so it's hard to see.
Well, we just built up that, we kind of backfilled it before we poured.
I'm pleased with these boards. They did really well.
Well, they definitely flexed while we were pouring the footer.
Yeah, in our time lapse, you can see it like waving out. Yeah.
It's just because it's two concentric circles, so it's obviously going to push out on the outer one and push in on the inner one. So it's going to widen that section, and then by the time you get to the other side, it'll look thinner. But as we poured, it just kept consistently widening out to the same width. So when we're done, it's level. I mean,
yeah, we braced it a lot with rocks and stakes and whatever we could find.
We also tried to get the concrete a lot more liquefied than I normally would. It wasn't like pure liquid, but you know, just a little bit finer finish on the edges especially. And I think that kind of helped it flow to become more level in the form.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What do we think of the mud mixer after doing this job?
I love it. It's already paid for itself, in my opinion.
Yeah, easily. We just did the whole footer for like under $500 in final concrete cost, and then our own water from the well. I mean, and what did we pay for this? $3,000. This would have cost way more than $3,000 to get a ready mix truck and a crew out here to do this. So
exactly.
We definitely put elbow grease in, but
yeah,
we're gonna,
once we're done with this, we want to rent it out.
Yeah, or let other people use it. They're friends of ours. I mean, the idea is we're gonna pour a whole slab with this thing. This is just, we're getting started, so we're definitely gonna keep using it. But I'd say it's a win so far. Why is it a round footer? What kind of house are we gonna build on this? Are we telling people yet?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe
like 2 videos from now.
Yeah, next video is stem walls, and then I think we're gonna start putting up the actual building for what it is. But what we're gonna build is, I don't think there's any documentation on this, what kind of building this is. So this is gonna be something brand new to YouTube for sure. It's a kind of a cutting edge building style. Like, you'll see, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, we can't wait to share it with y'all. So thank you for coming along on this journey with us. We love you guys.
Yeah.
If you like what we're doing, please subscribe, comment, and
keep coming and having fun with us. Just me and Heather out here building by ourselves. So the more people that can join, the happier and more fun it is.
Yeah,
Get feedback and help from people.
Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Peace.